What if I told you that most people using ChatGPT are actually making it worse at helping them? If you've been following this series, you know the game already. You know the basics that we covered in video 1 and videos 2. In the first video, we covered the fundamental or the foundational mistakes that make your ChatGPT usage look amateur. And ironically, most people think they're doing these things right. Things like cramming everything into one prompt because they think it saves them time, when it actually confuses the AI and gives you generic garbage. Then in video 2 went deeper into the more advanced features that most people completely ignore. The tools and settings that separate casual users from power ones. But here's the thing, even with those 20 tips, there's still a whole layer of ChatGPT mastery that separates the pros from everyone else. And the techniques I'm about to share with you in this video aren't just nice to have tweaks. These are the strategies that turn ChatGPT from a helpful assistant into an absolute powerhouse, both for your work when it comes to personal and professional projects. So, if you're ready to complete your transformation from ChatGPT beginner to absolute power user, let's dive right into these final 10 tips that will unlock ChatGPT's full potential. Let's start with tip 21, which is create a document with all successful prompts. You've probably built up a solid collection of effective prompts by this stage, but if you're trying to remember everything all the time, it's a pain. So start a document, whether in Google Docs, in Notion, or even a simple Notes app, and copy over any prompt that works well. And this way you've got them saved and ready to go. There's no tweaking, no guessing required at any point. It's number one, a huge time saver, and you will also get the top results every single time. And again, this is as simple as going to ChatGPT, maybe having a look at your history right here and seeing what you've done so far, right? And let's say, I don't know, we're looking at the European holiday ideas. And here we had the prompt, give me ideas on a great European holiday. And what I can do here is just say, instead of the prompt I gave you above, please help make the prompt much better for a large language model so I can use it next time. Use x in square brackets as variables as needed. So let's just run this. Now we're getting a better prompt, right? So let's say that we test this. Example use. Okay, let's start another ChatGPT window. I'm going to paste that in. Now let's say that I love the output that I'm getting here. So what I would do is just copy this information here, either go to docs.new and start a new document right there and call this ChatGPT prompts, like so. And then each time I have a reference of a prompt and an example use that I can use over and over again. I would just give it a title, so maybe vacation prompt. Maybe put that as heading 2. And then I'm starting to build my repository of prompts that I can reuse over and over again. So that makes life that much easier. Tip number 22, ask ChatGPT to do things step by step. When you ask ChatGPT to do this, to work through a task step by step, the results often turn out cleaner and more logical. And this method encourages ChatGPT to rely on reasoning instead of just pulling from memory. Most of the time, ChatGPT will format responses in a step-by-step if it makes sense, but adding this instruction directly and specifically doesn't hurt. And if you're asking for a guide, like a recipe, throw in all the details that you want, like step-by-step with ingredients, cooking times, and calorie count. And it will give you a well-organized response that is easy to follow. If we go back here and go back to ChatGPT, start a new chat, and let's say, give me a recipe for, I don't know, chicken, rice, and broccoli. That's what we get with that simple prompt. So get the time, the servings, the ingredients. Okay, we get the instructions. So not too bad at all. But what if I just try this with what I just said? So let's just grab this and let's just open up another ChatGPT window. And let's say, or let's give it the same prompt. And give me a recipe for chicken, rice, and broccoli, step by step with ingredients, cooking time, and calorie count. So one thing I noticed here is I don't think we get the calorie count. No, we don't. So if that is something that's important for me, I should be very specific with what I ask for right here. We get the ingredients, we get the instructions, step 4 steps, we get the cooking time. If using white rice, 30 minutes, estimated calories per serving. So even that small thing, it helps to, in my head, think about what I want specifically and ask ChatGPT for that again specifically. Tip number 23, add examples. ChatGPT's response improves dramatically when it has specific examples to follow. Without guidance, the responses it gives can feel generic or very AI-like, which, I mean, at the end of the day, they are, but we're trying not to have that. So if you have a structure or style in mind, just include an example in your prompt. For example, say you need 10 email templates. Show ChatGPT one email format as an example at the very minimum, and it will follow that structure for the rest of the emails that it gives out. And the more directions you give it, the more directions you provide, the better the consistency and the quality of the output. Generally, I like to give examples for all written tasks when it comes to content creation, video titles, creating articles, creating any sort of copy. So I just upload those examples every time, unless I create some sort of custom GPT. But the way that would work is, let's say that we have, I don't know, let's go to Google and say email newsletter example. It would be better if you have your own samples, right, from your favorite creators that you want to model on. And in that case, you would also get better results. But let's say that, so here we have newsletters. What I'm looking for is not newsletters, I guess, samples, examples, and designs. Okay, let's see. Can we copy the text here? Not really, no. So let's email newsletter, copy, example. Templates to copy and paste. Lead magnet promotion. Okay, cool. So let's say we have this example. Hi there, I'm emailing you today to let you know I've created a new lead magnet called lead magnet name. Okay, let's just copy this. Go to ChatGPT, start a new chat and say, I want your help to create a new email to advertise a new lead magnet I created. Follow this example. And then I can give it my own info and say, I don't know, suggest something for an AI automation agency, for example, right? Obviously, we would give it our own specific information. And here, we get that created in the style, in the template, based on the one I copied from AppSumo right here. So it starts with, hi there, name. I'm emailing you today to let you know I've created a new lead magnet type called name. In this, you'll learn how to create whatever it is we're showing the email subscriber, right? So if I go back here, we get, I'm emailing you today to let you know I've created a new free guide called 7 AI Automations to save 10 hours a week. This guide will discover seven simple yet powerful AI-powered workflows you can implement in your business right now without writing a single line of code. So we get all that. If I were to just obviously copy this and copy that and go to ChatGPT, paste that, the results that we would get obviously would not be exactly the way we want that to be. And maybe a fair test would have been starting with this rather than the other, so as not to use any of ChatGPT's memory. But it's not too bad, right? But if you want something specific, especially if you have longer email sequences, for example, that is where you would give the examples before you actually get it to create its own things. So that was tip number 23. Number 24, use image analysis. So this is a next level feature of ChatGPT that I think most people overlook. And you can upload any image and ask ChatGPT about it, from identifying objects to offering suggestions. For example, let's say you have a pack of yarn. You upload the image and ChatGPT can suggest what to make out of it. So if I just go to Google and I type in yarn, let's say I take this, I can take a screenshot. I can go to ChatGPT to start a new chat and say, I have this in my kitchen. What can I do with it? And this is not obviously just specific to yarn. It can be even food, ingredients. And sometimes you'd be surprised the kind of ideas that you get. So here we have practical ideas, make kitchen decor items, knit, create yarn wall art, make labels, coasters, gift wrap accents. So there's a lot of things that can be done. If I try the food example, fridge with food. Let's see. Yeah, let's say I really love vegetables, and let's say that I go back to ChatGPT, create a new image or chat, and say, I have this food in my fridge. What meals can I prepare? And again, it's just an image and a simple text prompt right there. So here it says I have various proteins and dairy, various sausages, cold cuts, cheese, radishes, carrots, spring onions, etc., which is pretty much true. So I can make roasted veggie and sausage tray bake, vegetable stir fry, cheese and sausage, and omelette, cold veggie and cheese platters. So quick idea for what to potentially eat tonight, I guess. Maybe you're working on a YouTube thumbnail. You can upload results that you get from other creators for the specific keyword. And you can ask ChatGPT for improvement ideas and tips. And this is a very versatile way to discover what things you can add, remove, what items are in an image, to brainstorm design improvements. Or if you're following a tutorial, you can also take screenshots of that, even in the various parts of that tutorial. There's all that can be done with this image recognition. Tip 25 is about using the phone app for on-the-go tasks. So the ChatGPT mobile app packs all of the power of the desktop version in your pocket. It has literally all the features. There's writing, data analysis, prompting, even vision. So you can snap a picture of landmarks, of food, of any other items. And ChatGPT will identify or give information about them. Plus, in addition to that, you can recognize medical images like x-rays, and you can get the job done. You can also use voice chat. So you just tap the headphone icon at the bottom of the screen and ChatGPT will become your conversational assistant. It's super useful, and if you haven't downloaded that yet, I really encourage you to do it because it will change the game for you when it comes to using ChatGPT on the go. Tip number 26 is about using custom GPTs, and think of these as specialized versions of ChatGPT that excel in one particular tasks that you would have trained them on. Whether you need ChatGPT to work with specific data or just streamline a particular workflow, a custom GPT can make it happen. And you can create this from scratch, or if you want something ready-made, there's a lot of these GPTs in the GPT store. There is generally, I believe that everything is free there, and you'll find tons of options. Some are built by big companies and others by everyday users. So if I go to the sidebar here and I go to GPTs, over here I see all the GPTs that people have created. There's trending, Scholar GPT, enhanced research with 200 million plus resources and building critical reading skills. Fitness, image generator, Python, consensus. So let's try fitness. So all it takes is clicking on that, start chat, and you get some quick ideas here. Learn any skill via N3S. I don't know what that means, but quickly analyze your diet, improve quickly, plus gift. I like gift. So let's see. Will identify the most high leverage activities. Takes 2 to 3 minutes. Are you currently making progress with your workout and diet? Okay, sure, yes. How often do you work out? Regularly. How would you describe your eating habits? I mean, let's say good. How is your hydration? Say average. So as you can see, it's something that someone else has built that I can fully use and take advantage of. If we look at, I don't know, Scholar GPT, can start the chat. And most of these have these sort of basic starting prompts to help you get started. Find the latest research about AI. So this wants to talk to whatever it is or whatever it was created. And we have a query there. We should get 20 results, I guess, talking to connector. And we're getting the latest information about AI, which is pretty cool that this is connected to a third-party source right there, and we can get that research immediately. So these are custom GPTs. And in addition, if we go again to GPTs, we can also hit create right here, and we can create our own. So give it a name, a description, instructions. You can create an image for that, and then we can configure it or even use their sort of wizard to create this custom GPT. And then once it is created, we can also share it with others just by sharing the link. Tip number 27, which could literally save your job. Remember to check for plagiarism. ChatGPT doesn't write completely original content. It combines information from things it was trained on. So if you're using ChatGPT for work reports, presentations, or anything your boss will see, you need to run it through a plagiarism checker first. I've heard of people getting in trouble because their ChatGPT content was too similar to existing sources. So you'll want to make sure that it's not too close to anything that already exists. And always be mindful of AI writing style. I guess sometimes it's better to use ChatGPT just to gather information and then write it out yourself rather than doing the whole thing using ChatGPT. It's not a black or white sort of area. I think there's things that ChatGPT can help with and things that it can create. So it's up to you to decide which and where to use just ChatGPT or where to use it as an assistant. Tip number 28 is about uploading a document like a lecture note, a meeting transcript, or a study guide and asking ChatGPT to quiz you on it. ChatGPT will then generate questions, and if you miss an answer, it will explain the correct one. You can also just give ChatGPT a topic directly in the prompt, and it will still quiz you with relevant questions that it knows about. And this trick is a fantastic way to reinforce your knowledge, and it might even reveal some extra insights that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. It's simple, it's effective, and it's a great tip for students, but for anyone that wants to learn anything. So, for example, yesterday I was on a call with Dan Martel, right? And in one of the communities I'm in. And what I could do is just go to ChatGPT, create a new chat, paste in the transcript, and I can say, this was a call I was on with Dan Martel. What I want you to do is quiz me on the concepts that Dan mentioned in the call. And let's see what this gives us. In general, this is a great way to, again, be active in your learning. You're not just passive, you're not just listening, but number one, you should be taking notes during the call, not just relying on, I guess, a meeting recorder, but it's also important to quiz yourself or get ChatGPT to do that. So what are the triple R's then said are required to succeed as an AI entrepreneur? Was it this, or that? According to Dan, what must every person on his team do before asking how to do something? Watch a training video, ask a mentor, use AI to prompt for the steps, write out their assumptions first. Great. So here we have 10 steps, some or 10 questions, some are open-ended, most are multiple choice. And yeah, that's pretty good. What was Dan's litmus test for whether someone truly uses AI properly? Nice. So I'll take this test after this video and see whether I was paying attention or not. Tip number 29. Plan your life with ChatGPT. And this might sound a bit out there, but hear me out. ChatGPT is actually awesome at organizing your day, your trip, or even your home life. If you list out your tasks or plans, ChatGPT can arrange them in a way that is super efficient. Say you need a travel itinerary with specific locations, done. If you want to plan out your student life, ChatGPT can suggest things that can be eye-opening. It can help you discover new strategies, new opportunities that you might not have considered. In a way, it's like having a virtual life coach in your chat window available right now. And to, I don't know, make this point a bit more concrete. Let's say that we have a new chat, right? And let's say that I'm going to travel today at 11 a.m. Before that, and let's say I wake up, or I woke up at 7 a.m. I need to take my dog to the kennel. Takes 30 minutes. I need to finish some work, 1 hour, and I need to pack 30 minutes. How can I, or give me 3 possible ways to schedule my morning. P.S. I need to be at the airport 1 hour before the flight. So I'm literally sort of dumping my thoughts into ChatGPT. So I wake up at 7 a.m. I can leave for the airport. Okay, this is kind of a summary. Option 1, structured flow. Dog first. Take dog to kennel, work, pack, and then head to the airport. The flight is at 11. I said I need to be there by 10. So this would allow me to get to the airport at 9:30. Then I can focus, work first. So work, dog to kennel, pack, head to the airport. Or light start, pack first. So pack, work, take dog to kennel, and then airport. So all 3 fit your timeline. And let's say I need to make an adjustment. My mistake. I need to work for 3 hours, right? So now I'll have some sort of conflict here. That changes things. So here we need to get creative. I can have a split work session. So leave for the airport, work remaining 1.5 hours after landing. Nice. Wake up earlier, so I can wake up at 6 a.m. Or I can outsource or shift one task. I like that. Ask someone to take the dog to the kennel, or reschedule drop off to the night before. Use this if you're tight on time and can delegate the dog task or pack in advance. Great. So it can also help you spot blind spots as well. Tip number 13, this is the final one, is to use image generator 1, I think it's called Gen 1 or something like that now, to help create images. And creating images with this model is super straightforward since it uses the same text recognition as ChatGPT. All you need to do is just type out what you want, and you can say generate an image in a specific style. So here, if I just take the same example, let's just say I like option 3. Create me an infographic with this. Make it 16 by 9 dimensions. So I'm just telling it what sort of image I want, and we'll see this in a second. It can be as simple as depicting a green apple falling and Isaac Newton being under it, for example, if you want it, right? It's just about describing things like what you want in it, the aspect ratio, the angle, whether it's wide or close up, and the objective for each element, if you wanted to. The closer it matches your description and the way you envision the image, the better the final result. And this image generator really shines when you get specific. So literally don't hold back. So let's see what we're getting right here. So this is the morning schedule. The only issue or thing is that it takes a few seconds more than another model to generate. So before it was quite quick, but now there's an increase in quality, which also increases the time it takes to actually generate this. So we have our morning schedule here. We have 7 to 10 a.m. work. We're going to pack the night before. We're going to ask someone to take the dog to the kennel, and then 10 a.m. go straight to the airport. So I didn't give it too much information on how I wanted this, right? So this is what it came up with. I can then download this, and this is literally an image that I can open and use as any other image. So, okay, now you know the specific ChatGPT techniques that actually work. There's no more getting frustrated with bad responses, no more feeling like everyone else knows something that you don't, and no more being scared to use ChatGPT for important work stuff because you're not sure if it's good enough. What I would suggest is that you start with the first few tips tomorrow, especially the prompting ones, and you'll immediately see better results. And honestly, once you get comfortable with these techniques, you will probably become the person that your coworkers ask for ChatGPT help. And with these 30 strategies, you're now set to unlock ChatGPT's full potential. And I'm not even exaggerating. Try out these techniques, practice them, and see how far you can go with ChatGPT. And for even more insights, check out the link in the description where I go over building different workflows that you can combine with ChatGPT through AI and automation. And that takes all of these tips to the next level. So that is the link in the description. There's also a link if you want to work one-to-one with me to get further help and to move your projects forward. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Speak soon.